Okay, we're live. I'm removing myself, so then you wait the 5 seconds and we'll go.
Okay. One, two, three. All right, Stephan, ahead and go live on my IG. All right. Todd Richards here. Chef Stephan, how are you, my friend?
And
Hit go
oh,
live on all your platforms because
yeah,
I'm
but it's
looking
giving
at,
me a different, it's giving me a different key.
well, get your keys in order because everyone is here on IG, on Instagram Live, looking at us and just welcoming everyone to one of the first episodes of Roots Heart Soul podcast on Heritage Radio Network. And it's just such uh, a great day to be alive. Todd Richards, of course, Chef Todd, as some people will call me. And this is actually episode 4 of Roots Heart Soul podcast. We first time we're actually doing it live on Instagram, and it's such a great time to tell everyone the story and everything of what we're trying to accomplish with the podcast and things like that. So this episode is going to be brief. There's definitely some previous episodes recorded on Heritage Radio Network, and just want to introduce Chef Stefan, who is working on his key to get his live going. But we really just want to, tell everybody that, Heritage Radio Network is the group that really is bringing Roots Heart Soul podcasts here to everyone, as well as Roots Heart Soul is based on my book with Amy Condon on HarperCollins, Roots Heart Soul, in talking about the really great foods that came out of Africa through the Caribbean, all the way up through the South, hitting New York, hitting Chicago, hitting Texas, and going to California. And we really want to welcome everyone to this weekly episode of it. We broadcast live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. There's a lot of topics that we'll discuss, always centered around food, but just because we're sitting around food does not mean that we won't go into politics, we won't go into sports, we won't go into any other things that are loosely related to food that really ties to not only to everyone here in the Americas, but the diaspora and its whole. Chef Stefan, my friend, my buddy, how you looking over there?
What's up, buddy?
Um, welcome back to Haiti, because I know you
Uh,
just got back to Haiti a couple of days ago,
yes, I
and
have.
yeah, right, no place like home. So, uh, how's it going down there? We've seen so many things happening with Haiti, and glad to see
Well,
you back home.
we're patiently waiting for the development of this new government.
Hmm.
It's a lot of politics. It's a lot of security issues that need to be dealt with. But it's also an economy that needs to be revived.
Hmm.
So, you know, to whom much is given, much is expected. And if you can't talk about being in the battle if you're not in it.
Right,
You can't be on the sideline and say you want to be in the battle.
right.
So, there's no other way to fix Haiti but to be in Haiti and be involved in everything that's going on. So, and to my surprise, my whole staff at the restaurant is telling me, Chef, you're on TV, you're on TV. I'm like, what? What are you talking about?
Right. Right.
I said, yeah, you've been on TV since yesterday. So one of the TV channels is recapping
Hmm.
some of the events that I've done and some of the interviews that I've done, so forth and so on. I don't know where they got that footage, but it's being played on TV. So
Well, not a superstar in a meeting, a superstar that's returning home. You know,
nah,
yeah.
listen, superstardom entails. I was watching this one of these French chefs that does
Wait,
this.
wait, wait, wait. You can't say one of these French chefs and not Thai Haiti. So you can't
No,
be
no,
this.
no, no. But I was listening to one of these French chefs on Instagram, and he
Right.
was talking about, you know, the word celebrity chef,
Hmm.
and you know, and he was making fun of it in some way, but that's some of his videos that are like that. And
Hmm.
to be honest with you, the word celebrity chef doesn't mean anything to me if, as a chef, you're not deeply involved in the community and impacting the community that you live in.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Then you can't talk. You can't, not because you're on TV that you're all of a sudden a celebrity chef, or you've done a couple TikTok videos and you have 100,000 followers that you're celebrity chef. I think being a celebrity entails a little bit much more than that. And to me, if I'm not inspiring, if I'm not impacting, if I'm not helping to change things, then that word means absolutely nothing.
Absolutely. So welcome everyone. This is, like I said, this is Roots Heart Soul podcast on Heritage Radio Network. It's really great, to be here and uh, to really broadcast for the first time, live. Definitely, we have some 3 episodes previous to this recording and this live on Heritage Radio Network. I am broadcasting live in Atlanta at One Flew South. On the belt line, in the middle of the belt line. Most people from Atlanta don't want to say it's hot Atlanta, but it's definitely hot Atlanta today, 90 degrees and things like that. And of course, my great friend and co-host, Chef Stephan, who is, back in Haiti, and we're going to be linking up together this weekend in New York for Creole Fest, which is something that really celebrates the diaspora and things like that. But Stefan, because everyone is here now and we finally got all this working, and this is, we're both older gentlemen, so getting this technology, kind of figured out has been a challenge for the last 3 weeks.
No, no, no.
Eh,
But it's
but
it's fun because you get to learn something. You get to
uh,
learn something new, and we're both trying to do this correctly. At
absolutely,
the end of the day, we're trying to
absolutely.
do this correctly so that we can not only um, share really important subjects with the community, with the public, but also make it fun and entertaining at the same time. So
You said it, fun, entertaining. My motto is fun, interesting, and sustainable. You know,
absolutely.
which
So
is
we
which is
want
which
we
is great.
want we want people to be able to get something. If anything, want people to get something positive out of this podcast. The words roots, heart, and soul, they're not just words. There is so much deep meaning behind those 3 words. Um, it's about family. It's about ancestry. It's about there's so much. It's about family. It's about friendship. It's about where you grew up, what impact on where you grew up had on you. There is so much to talk about, and I can tell you,
Hmm.
the next few episodes is going to be super, super
I
exciting.
mean, so you let me already. This is already great because you're already leading me. I usually, leading you,
Super,
but you.
super exciting.
I mean,
I
so the
mean, we
next, the
got the
next,
food scholar, we
right,
got
5 weeks.
we got
Right?
Zella, we
Zella
got
Palmer.
we got Adrian Miller.
Adrian Miller. So let's pause a little bit because Zella Palmer, who really is a great contributor to Roots Heart Soul book, and then Adrian Miller, who wrote the foreword of the book. Now not to mention yourself, as well, and then the great Amy Condon, who kind of tied us all together, plus Clay Williams and Thomas Driver. Most people don't know Thomas Driver did the layout and photography for Soul, my first book. I mean, just like help people understand the impact of the people that we have lined up for the next 3 weeks. And then I'm going to come back to Kevin Mitchell after you talk about this because having him on is going to be even great, great accomplishment as well.
So, for me, when I look at these guys, there is so much inspiration to be drawn from these people who are doing so much to really put, um, you know, uh, the African diaspora forward. Um, Zella Palmer is one of the most amazing person, and I can't wait to not only have her on the podcast, but finally meet her, even if it's virtually. Um, Kevin Mitchell, again, such an inspiring person for everything that he does, not only for um, in Charleston, but the school, teaching kids, inspiring kids. Um, Listen, these
Right.
conversations are going to be deep.
Right.
That's all I got to say.
I mean, you have Adrian Miller, who's in Denver, but who's known everywhere. The great thing about Kevin, and Kevin Mitchell is not only is he's an educator, you know, and a lot of times, Kevin and I joke about educators. People say that, things about educators in culinary that maybe they can't cook, and I disagree with that somewhat, but Kevin is a person that actually can freaking cook, but
Ooh.
like his Burberry spice, and the way he rocks is he dispels that myth, and and Zella, being a Chicagoan as myself, who knows Lim's barbecue probably better than myself, and things like that. But also, us traveling up to New York this weekend, to do the Creole Fest, and really, not only are we going to talk the talk with the Roots Heart Soul podcast, we're going to walk the walk because we're actually going to, with these festivals and things like that, celebrating the diaspora, celebrating the culture. But also, one thing I want you to talk about right quick is how we're not a monolith. How we're not just one thing. We all just don't cook the same, and those things like that we develop, and really, laying the groundwork for what people can further expect from the podcast.
Well, the Creole Food Festival in New York is going to be a display of Pan Africanism, a display of the African diaspora, a display of black and brown talent, a display in you're going to see the same ingredients that are cooked a different way.
A
You
display in
know,
whiskey.
um, I use the word Creole soul a lot in my cooking,
Right.
while you use the word soul food. Um, but imagine this: um, we all have okra in our repertoire. We
Hmm.
all have um, you know and the food that comes from all of these places really comes from the heart, really comes from deeply rooted in
Hmm.
family, deeply
Hmm.
rooted in the story of Africa, in the story of and a lot of people tell me not to say these words, but in the story of the slave trade.
Hmm.
It is deeply rooted in the story of the slave trade because you know and these are some of the reasons why I'm so proud to say I'm from Haiti,
Hmm.
because um, the slave trade started there. They say that Christopher Columbus and his voyage got lost and discovered Haiti, discovered Hispaniola.
Hmm.
How do you discover something that was already there?
I mean, you're giving jewels previews. I don't want to give people too much because we have a
How do
long,
you discover something that was already there?
right?
You know,
Right.
and like a very famous saying, Plymouth Rock didn't land on us, man. We landed on Plymouth Rock.
Right.
It's like, how do you discover something that was already there? The stories of the Tainos um, that populated practically the whole Caribbean. and you have um, different villages within that nation,
Hmm.
just like you have different villages within Africa, within the same country, and you have different languages that are spoken within the same country, and
Right.
and that's how Creole came about, because we needed to find a common language that we could all speak between us, but that we could also make our colonizers understand what we were trying to say. So
Okay,
imagine,
I got to stop you right there. You give away too much. You give away too much. You give away too many jewels. That
so
we can't. You know, I just want to say that we have like 6, 7 guests lined up for the next week. So I don't want to give all the story
and I know
away.
Zella is gonna drop
Right,
down,
right,
the mic on us.
right.
So every
I mean, Zella's going to take us to church. Like she's going to take us to 43rd and Cottage Grove in Chicago. She's going to take us to Old Bethel and things like that. That kind of church.
and
But
then
the
and then
most
I can't
important
wait
thing,
for Adrian Miller to
right?
really school us um, on everything soul.
Right. So just for those who have just joined us, this is Roots Heart Soul podcast. I'm Todd, Chef Todd Richards here with Chef Stephan. We're on Heritage Radio Network. This is something new for Heritage Radio Network as well. We're the first ones that are actually doing our podcast live, and then you'll be able to have the archives on all the platforms, with Apple and YouTube and things like that. So it's really great to be the ones here and talking about that and showing the progression of Heritage Radio Network. I'm in Atlanta. I'm at One Flew South, owned by Jack Ma Hospitality. Chef Stephan, of course, is in the great country of Haiti that started all this foodways and things like that. Stephan, we want to keep people for a few more minutes because next week we're going to have an hour-long conversation with some great people. But go ahead and kind of wrap us up right quick and tell everyone where they can see us over the next few days.
Well, for me, not only it is a privilege and an honor to be right by your side doing this podcast, but everything else that we're doing together, including the book tour, Roots, Heart, and Soul, written by you and Amy Condon. So, and we have some dates that we're gonna be chopping up for the book tour as well. I had a great conversation today with Digby,
Oh,
uh,
Digby. Oh, my
who's
goodness.
in Phoenix, Arizona,
Oh, my goodness.
and he cannot wait to have us. I can tell you that. Um, but yeah, really for me, being able to talk history, being able to talk food, being and how food is tied up. Everything that we eat is tied up to history. Everything that we eat is tied up to family, to and nothing wrong with being both black and to be mixed, because many of us in the Caribbean are. But we have to really lay down the truth. And I
Hmm.
think that's what this podcast is about, is really laying down the truth, um, and really talking about the conversation in a very deep, meaningful kind of way. So,
I mean,
guys, I
the
can't tell
truth.
you, I can't tell you how exciting we are, to be doing, not only to be doing this podcast, but to be doing this podcast with the guest that we have lined up for you. And I hope that you will continue to follow us, not only on HRN, Heritage Radio Network, but follow us on our Instagram, Chef Todd Richards and Chef Stephan.it with an AYITI. And follow us on Facebook. Follow us on, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Roots, Heart, and Soul Podcast. Um, and really give us an ear to listen to some of these amazing conversations that we're going to have.
Well, my good buddy, I will see you in a couple of days, live and in person in New York. You're looking forward to Creole Fest. There's so many great chefs coming, but they got the Grand Poobah right here, me coming. So, and to say that there's not competition, I would say there's no competition because you're bringing the best.
Listen, bring it on, baby.
Right, right.
Bring it on.
All right.
No,
So
but,
thank you. Go ahead.
guys, if you're in New York, if you guys are in New York, Creole Food Festival this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, you can go to creolefoodfestival.com, get your tickets early. You're gonna be in for a treat. That's all I can tell you. You know, having Todd Richards cooking some smoke, I don't know.
Right. Yeah. No, you got to buy the ticket to find out what I'm cooking.
You got to buy the tickets to find out. That's all we got to say.
All right.
You know,
All right.
So New York City, show up, come and support this amazing festival that is really putting forward Black and brown chefs from the Pan-African diaspora. Really, it's going to be a blast. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great food, of course. Music, dancing, you name it. Because when we party, chef, what do we do?
Right. Oh man, dude. All right. So before I get all of us, in trouble here, spilling too much, but thanks everyone who joined us here on all the platforms. This is Roots Heart Soul Podcast. Chef Todd Richards, Chef Stephan on Heritage Radio Network. We will be back, of course, live next Tuesday at 7 p.m. We do this weekly. Pay attention to our IGs, all our social media to get the lineup. Also, in people who don't have the platform, also, who look like us, talk like us, and want to be about what we're trying to do. Also, reach out to us on all those platforms as well. We'll see everyone next Tuesday at 7 p.m. With our first special guest. And then, of course, check us out this weekend representing all the diaspora. Shout out to Fabrice. Shout out to One Flew South, Beltline in Atlanta, where I'm broadcasting from. Shout out to Haiti, where Stephan is broadcasting from. And we'll see everyone soon. All right?
Absolutely.
Cheers.
New York City.
Deuces.
Cheers.
Let's get out of here.
See, I'm having mine too, buddy.
Oh, right.